Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX. As you can see, we hit a high, pre-market high of 1347, right? So I need to remember that number 1347 because we have tested this once. We could very well come back to this area. So 1347, and what it's going to be an interesting day. I just can't say that enough, right? So as of now, the VIX has been trading in this area. I had this 1328 marked as a support area. It is now a resistance area for us because we are kind of like under that. So support is like right here at the 1326. So the VIX is trading in this zone here. And I'll see if I can make that a little bit bigger. So the VIX is trading in this zone. Our support area is here at 1326, resistance at 1328. So there's going to be some type of breakout at some point, right? We are under the 5 EMA, finding support though here at this 1326. So are we going to, go back to the downside, or are we going to go back to the upside? That is the question. So let's look, where are our trouble places for the VIX as of now? So to the upside, we will definitely have trouble at the 1328 area, 1329, 1328, 1329, and again at 1331. If by chance we break above the 1331, then we're definitely going to have trouble at 1337 around that area, or back here at the 1344 area. Those are trouble places to the upside for the VIX. And if we break that 1345 area, then 1347 is going to be another trouble place for us. Now to the downside, if we lose support here of the 1326, we could come back and retest the 1319, which brings us really close to the 200 EMA at 1318 right here. So under 1318, we will have trouble here at 1311. Under 1311, we'll have trouble at around the 1308 or the 1307 area. So those are going to be places to the upside and to the downside for the VIX. Normally when the VIX is one way, the SPY is the opposite direction, and that is not always guaranteed, as we have seen before. But let me say this again, in the market, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So as we can see, SPY is trading in a yesterday's gathering spot. Those two lavender lines, and I'll try to make it a little bit bigger. Those two lavender lines here and here is where the SPY was trading on yesterday, and we see that over here. So SPY has been trading in this zone here. Okay, so it did move up yesterday and made a high of 564.84, which was very interesting to me. Why? Because SPY made a new high. I had the level of 563.50 marked, and we broke past that 564.84. So it makes me wonder, okay, are we going to get rejected here? So that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Are we going to get rejected here and come back to the downside? And that's exactly what we did. As soon as we hit this 564.84 area, we had some sellers right there that was taking that price back to the downside, and we came back to the 563.80 area, right? So as you can look, that's where the body of these candles are. So we hit this high of 564.84 only to come back down to the 563.80 area. Now, it didn't surprise me to see SPY at this 559 area. Why? Because we had already come to this area before. We've tested. What was interesting is when it broke through these other areas here, only to come all the way back down here. So SPY at the 559.63 yesterday was not surprising. Let me say that, because we did hit a high of 564.84. And I'm not saying that, when we hit a high that we can't continue climbing, but normally when I see something like this, there's some type of rejection, sell, and then, it possibly can come back and retest that area. So where are we today with the SPY, right? As of now. So we were trading in this gathering spot. Pre-market support was again at 561.82, and resistance was here at 562.06. So as you can see, there's some sellers in this area. We're having trouble getting above this 562.30. As of right now, that is definitely a trouble place for us, which is really close to the 562.43. So 560 562.32 is going to be a trouble place for us as of now. And if we break that area, 562.43 is an ATR trailing stop. So our trouble places to the upside, it will definitely need to break above the 562.43, and we will have trouble again at 562.56. If we should break that area, we would have trouble at 562.91 and again around the 563.20 area. If we break the 563.20, we will have trouble at 563.34. These are places to the upside. Now, if by chance we come back to the downside under this previous support area of 561.82, we could find, which is right at the 50 EMA here. So we can have trouble here at the 561.69 and again at the 561.49, below that 561.39 and 561.28. Those are places that can stop the SPY and we can bounce and move back to the upside. Or if we continue to the downside under 561.28, we could definitely find support at the 560.89 area or the 560.97 area. So I would definitely, if I traded the SPY today, it can move in either direction, up or down. So I would again definitely watch that 562.32 area. And we'll come back to the SPY. Tesla is Tesla. Let's say that, right? So yesterday Tesla hit a high of 265.50, 265.60 here, which we knew that based on this gray shaded area that it could possibly get rejected in this area, and that's exactly what it did. You still have an alert set here. So that's exactly, what it did. It hit this area of trouble that we knew was possible, right? Only to get rejected and come all the way back down. So Tesla went from 265.60 all the way down to 251.73, which is not surprising. It is under the 252.15. It came down to 251.73. It is under the 252.15 that we had marked as a support area. What is interesting for me for Tesla is it came back to this 252.86. And you see I have that marked because that is an area of support for Tesla, right? Because it hit this area of 251, although, and it still came back to this 252.86 area and found support. And as you can see, that's what candles have been hanging out at. So I would definitely watch that 252.86 area for Tesla today. Now, today pre-market support is here at 256.02. and resistance is at 256.98. We are breaking out of a gathering spot. As you can see here, we're breaking down under this level. So what do I see? Where are our trouble places? If we break the 255.59, we have 255.04, which is a 50 EMA, and under that we have the 253.96. Under 253.96 we have 253.35, and under that 253.35 we can come back to that 252.86. Now that is the level that I'm going to be marking. Under that level I'm going to put an alert because I know that was strong support for Tesla on yesterday. So if we break that, we can continue to the downside. Now let's look at the upside. If by chance we break above the 256.98, we could very well have trouble at the 258.22 area. Above that, we can come back to the 259.81 area, and above the 259.81, we can come back and retest this ATR trailing stop, which is at the 261.71 area. So those are places to the upside and to the downside for Tesla. And keep again in mind, Tesla normally moves about $10 and 40-something cents per day on average, the ATR, and that's in either direction, up or down. So if you trade Tesla today, y'all, I always say trade carefully and make sure you have confirmations as to why you're entering your trades, and do not rush into those trades, right? So we are looking at AMD, and pre-market support for AMD is right here at the 178.98 as support. Resistance was here at the 179.50, and it looks like we are breaking out of that and found support at the 5 EMA. So I would definitely watch this area of 179.50. And although this 179.79, so 179.79 is could possibly be our resistance as of now, which is really close to the 179.99, and the support is at the 5 EMA, or right where we are now at the 179.54. Again, this is pre-market. When the bell rings, anything is possible. Again, nothing is guaranteed. So Where are our trouble places for AMD? It's if we break above this area here of 179.76, we will have trouble at this 180 area. So above the 180, we could possibly have trouble at the 180.27. I was going to say have trouble at the 180.27. Above the 180.27, I have 180.55. Above the 180.55, 180.99. Above the 180.99, we can come all the way up to the ATR trail and stop at 181. 181.69. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside for AMD. Now, where are our trouble places to the downside? If we break under this level of 178.98, we can come back and find support here at 178.63. Under 178.63, we can come all the way back to the 177.53. So I would definitely watch those areas up or down, support or resistance for AMD if I traded AMD today. Again, I always say y'all trade carefully. So let's go look at NVIDIA. NVIDIA too is trading in this gathering spot. That's why it's really, really important to mark those for me. Let me say that. So as you can see, the gray shaded areas, NVIDIA is still trading in that zone, right? So as of now, pre-market support is at 128.39. Resistance is at 128.55. Are we going to break out of this area back to the upside or to the downside? So where are our trouble places? Now, to the upside, if we can get above 128.67, we will have trouble around the 128.84 and the 128.93 area. Above the 128.93, we could have trouble here at the 129.20. Above 129.20, we can have trouble at 129.30. So those are places to the upside for NVIDIA. And just keep in mind, it could continue climbing all the way up to the ATR trailing stop, which is at the 130.14 area. Just know that we would definitely have trouble at the 130 or 129.99 area to the upside. Now, to the downside for NVIDIA, if we break under the 128.39, we will have trouble at 128.23, and under 128.23 we'll have trouble at 128.06. Under 128.06 we will have trouble at 127.71, and under that 127.71 we can come back and retest to 127.49. So those are places to the upside and to the downside for NVIDIA. And NVIDIA normally moves $5.29 on average on a daily basis. Again, that could be in either direction, up or down, right? So we do have some inside day candles, and I'll just give the triggers for those. And when I say the trigger, it means if it breaks above this area, then this is the upside target, or if it breaks below this area, then this is the downside target. So Citi Group, which is C, is an inside day candle. If it breaks above this area of 65.57, which we've tested this before, so we could very well continue, move back past this 65.57 gives us a target of 66.73, and under 63.83 gives us a target of 63.36. And again, it can move in either direction. Let's see how much it normally moves, $1.41. Again, Citigroup or C is an inside day candle. Charge point is an inside day candle if we've already reached that target. So if it would have broke, above the 223 gives us a target of 220. No, above 222 gives us a target of 223, and below 205 gives us a target of 195. So if you trade charge point, I would say it is an inside day candle. And let's see, Cisco, CSCO is an inside day candle. Above 47.49 gives us a target of 47.86. Below 46.78 gives us a target of 46.64. So if you trade Cisco, it is an inside day candle. Intel, INTC, is an inside day candle. If it breaks above 35.23, 35.46 is the target. If it breaks under 34.30, then the target to the downside is 33.75. And what's interesting is we've been trading in this zone here, so it could very well have a breakout at some point. Support as of now, pre-market is 34.51, resistance at 34.64. So we could move in either direction for Intel or INTC. Lucid is an inside day candle above $4.21, gives us a target of $4.33. Under $3.60 gives us a target of $3.47 for Lucid. Lucid is an inside day candle. Macy's is an inside day candle. And if Macy's is an inside day and an inside week, which is really interesting. So, yeah, I think Macy's was the inside week candle, so that was the reason for it being on the list for today. So let's take Macy's off that, right? So Marvell, MRVL. Marvell, if it breaks above 74.32, then the target 74.81 is the target. And if it breaks under 72.91, then the target for Marvell to the downside is 71.50. And y'all, Marvell normally moves in either direction, $2.38 per day. And y'all know what? We do this, look, raw and uncut is what I like to say. You know, sometimes I'll make mistakes with my words, but we try to move forward, right? So Rivian is an inside day candle, and I'm waiting on my computer for this one. If it breaks above 1794, then 1890 is the target. Under 1699 gives us a target of 1668. So if you trade Rivian today, I would say trade carefully. SOUN, SOUN, is an inside day candle. If it breaks above 646, then yeah, target is 646. Under 550 gives us a target of 535. So those are inside day candles for today. I finally got through those without, mixing up my words too much today. I do apologize for that, but y'all, I do this to have fun. It's fun for me, right? So let's go back to the SPY. And we are still, again, having trouble in this area. I would definitely mark this ATR trail and stop. I'm going to set an alert above this area. It tells me that that SPY has broken through a level of resistance. So I have a level of resistance for my alerts at 562.44 and 561.63. If we break over or below those places, then I will be looking to make sure that I'm trading the SPY today, or looking for my entry for the SPY. Let's say that, because you always want to wait on confirmation. So y'all, again, I hope these videos are very, very helpful. This is what I see when I look at the market. I always say this, y'all, nothing in the market is guaranteed. Anything is possible, but nothing is guaranteed. So make sure you have confirmation as to why you're entering your trades, and trade what you see. Once it goes against your why, get out. So I hope that everyone have a very profitable, a very, very productive day today. And I always like to leave you with this, y'all. Be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.